Hello.
Hello, good afternoon all.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, ma.
Good afternoon, my love.
Good afternoon.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good afternoon, Rotary Kale. Happy to see you again.
Fellow Rotarians, good evening. It's a beautiful day.
Good evening.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning. Oh, wow. Is there another time zone here?
Yes, please. I'm joining from New Jersey. It's 11 a.m. my side.
Oh, wow. You are welcome. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank
on
you, my
this
Rotarians.
beautiful day. On this beautiful day.
Rotary, knowing you are sighted.
I'm what? I'm what?
You are sighted. I'm greeting you. Rotary,
thank you.
Me by your bank is greeting you.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to start recognizing our fellow Rotarians who have joined us on this beautiful day, on this lovely webinar, which is about unlocking our radiance, a transformative journey, feminine wellness. Okay, first of all, I would like to recognize the chairperson of Women in Rotary for District 9111, Rotarian Lara Akintoya. I would like to recognize Rotarian Ajayi Sunday Olani, Rotarian Omotayo Oluwole. Please, can you rename yourself on the Zoom so that we can know who we have here? Okay, we have, okay, Rotarian Yinka Oseni, Rotarian Teresa, Rotarian and of course, our immediate past Chief of Staff, Rotarian Sylvia Abdallah, and Rotarian Sandra Umukuro from Rotary Club of Ikeja GRA. Thank you so much for joining us. Rotarian Josie, Rotarian Akosa Chibuzo, thank you. PP, show your light. Oh, Mama Yaba, God bless you, Ma. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Peaceful Peace, Rotarian Lanre Lawal, Rotarian Kefe. Thank you so much. Rotarian Joyce Mary Sheyi Idowu, IPP, Dr. Olumayowa Adeyinka. Thank you so much. Wow. I hope our speakers too are ready to go. Okay. Rotarian Adao Bionyeka, thank you so much. Rotarian Folashade Akinsanya. I also, okay, Professor Akon Williams, Dr. Grace, a CA, is she, and Dr. Femi Oloyede is here. Okay, wow. I think we need to start because time is certainly not on our side and the show must go on. So at this point, I want to officially say good evening to our United District Governor and also our Rotary leaders and as well as fellow Rotarians. We welcome you to our empowering webinar, Unlock Your Radiance, a transformative journey to feminine wellness. In a world that often places immense pressure on women to juggle multiple roles, prioritize others, and meet societal expectations, it is vital to carve out time for self-care, wellness. Now, this transformative journey invites you to embrace the true essence of feminine wellness, empowering you to shine brightly from within. Now, our distinguished speakers, Rotarian Dr. Grace Esie, a mental health consultant and psychotherapist, and of course, Dr. Femi Oloyede, a trusted consultant in fetal medicine and genetics, will guide us through enlightening discussions and insights designed to inspire and uplift us. Now, I want to just welcome all of you with a virtual round of applause. All of you need to clap for yourselves for being part of this. Welcome to a transformative experience that promises to inspire and enrich your life. Women in Rotary, are we ready to go? Are we ready to go? Are we ready
Yes.
to? Oh, yes. Okay. I think I'm hearing the voice of our women. We are ready to go. It is going to be a life-changing experience today. It is a beautiful day and the program must kick off. But at this point, we need to call our United District Governor, the Prince of Impact. I call him the DG with steez. Rotarian Prince Henry Akinyele to call this program to order. Our DG, we welcome you. The Prince of Impact, we welcome you to a one of its kind, the first Women in Rotary webinar for this Unite for Good year for Rotary District 9111. We welcome you, sir, as you
Thank you
prepare to
very much,
call the
Oyin,
program to
and
order.
thank you very much. I want to say good evening to our Rotary distinguished leaders here present, of course, all Rotarians, our beautiful women in Rotary. I want to say a good evening to you all. I am sincerely very sorry. We have been so engaged with our new Rotary International President-elect, which we are celebrating at the moment at the Rotary Center. I'm so engaged with that, and I'm sincerely sorry. I want to apologize for the fact that I'm not going to be able to stay all long with you on this program. But I must say that I feel greatly honored to call this a virtual webinar to order. And just before that, I want to congratulate the chairman of this Women in Rotary, and Adesanya, and of course, all our women in Rotary, and of course, also with our chairman of the disease prevention and treatment for organizing this very beautiful webinar. And I hope that it's going to be an eye-opening for our Rotarians, and of course, a platform for all of us to also see why our women in Rotary it's so very important to the growth of our district. I hope every participant here today will learn and we have a takeaway from this event. It is my pleasure and honor to call this webinar to order. I thank you very much for being part of this, and I hope that I will join you before the closing of this particular event. I thank you very much. I look forward to an unprecedented performance of women in Rotary in this Rotary year, and be rest assured that you have the support of the district governor and, of course, everything you may need as regard the district participation. I thank you very much. God bless you all. So on that note, I hereby call this webinar to order. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our United DG. So at this point, we want to welcome you all. Once again, this is a program that is in collaboration with the Disease Prevention and Treatment Committee for District 9111. And we need to begin with the Rotary grace. Oh Lord, and
for good. We apostles are the other day.
All right. So at this point, I will be handing over to a delectable personality, a wonderful, amazing woman who is the chairperson of Women in Rotary District 9111. Please, can we all give a resounding round of applause, a virtual one? Please let us comment in the comment section as we welcome our women leader, our woman leader of Rotary District 9111, Rotarian Lara Akinsonya. To come and
Thank you
say
very much.
opening remarks, yes.
Thank you very much, Oyin. You're such an amazing woman. Good afternoon, everyone on board. I welcome you to this webinar. I thank you for squeezing time out of your tight schedule to be part of this webinar. And I'm sure and convinced within me that after this webinar, it's going to be a totally different thing entirely. And I'll start by saying that I am thrilled to welcome you all to our webinar, Unlock Your Radiance, a transformative journey to feminine wellness, organized in collaboration with the Disease Prevention and Treatment Committee of District 911. It is an honor to have each of you join us today as we embark on this meaningful exploration of women's health and wellness. Today's event aims to highlight the importance of mental and physical well-being of our lives as women. We understand that the journey to wellness is not just a personal endeavor, but a collective mission. By equipping ourselves with knowledge and insight, we can empower one another to unlock our full potential and embrace our radiant selves. I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our speakers, Rotarian Dr. Grace ASCA and Rotarian Dr. Femi Oloyede. Dr. Femi Oloyede is the chair, Committee for Disease Prevention and Treatment of District 9111, for graciously sharing their time and expertise with us today. Their wealth of knowledge, experience will provide invaluable insight into healing the feminine mind and body, as well as exploring the vital connection between our facilitating today's discussion. And after everything, as we engage in today's session, I encourage all of you to partake actively. Your questions and contributions are vital to the richness of our dialogue. So please do not hesitate to share your thoughts during the question and answer segment later on. Once again, welcome to Unlock Your Radiance. Let us make this journey transformative as we delve into depths of our well-being and emerge empowered. Thank you. Please, let's get started.
Wow. Please, a round of applause for our woman leader, the chairperson of Women in Rotary for District 9111. That was, in fact, that really gave a good energy, positive vibes to the program this evening. So, without further ado, let us welcome our first speaker this evening. Now, she's going to be taking us through women's health, healing the feminine mind and body. Now, this is a presentation by Dr. Grace, a CA, Rotarian Dr. Grace, a CA. She's a mental health consultant and a psychotherapist. So please, can we give a round of applause as she prepares to take us on this journey of discovery? But of course, we need to get to know our guest speaker. So let us sit back, relax. You can get a bottle of drink or even chips as we get ready to dive into this. But we need to unravel who Rotarian Dr. Grace, who she is. Rotarian Dr. Grace, a CA, is a mental health consultant and psychotherapist. She holds a master's and PhD degree in mental health counseling and is presently the Director of Studies, Mental Health Counseling, CBU, Global Extension, United States of America. She is a cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT practitioner, and is certified in various aspects of healthcare, including integrated medicine, neuro-linguistic programming, and psychology, biology, and behavior. She is a founder of Graceling Counseling Services with counseling clinics located in Lagos and Ogun State. She is a consultant with hospitals in the country, including ACE Medicare Clinics Limited, and provides workplace psychological evaluation of staff in various organizations. Dr. Grace is the author of The Mind-Body Connection, a book where she elucidates the link between mental health and physical illness and provides easy steps to health and wellness. Please, women in Rotary, our Rotary leaders, fellow Rotarians, please, can we give a resounding round of applause and a warm welcome, virtually that is, in the comment section as we welcome the first guest speaker this evening, Dr. Grace Rotarian. Dr. Grace Esie, a mental health consultant and psychotherapist. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, Dr. Rotarian, Dr. Grace Esie. We really appreciate you coming on board to come and take us through this very, very important topic. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Rotarian Lola. I appreciate this warm welcome. Greetings to our Women in Rotary chairperson and her team. Thank you for putting this together, this much needed webinar for our women and of course the men who love us. It's a privilege to be here to share. I believe everyone is hearing me. I hope I'm audible. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you, Dr. Grace. We can hear you.
I just wanted to be sure. Thank you. So in the time that we're going to dive into it because I've got 20 minutes and I want to make sure that I get as much as I can in. So I'm just trying to take note of the time. All right, so I believe I can share. We'll be looking at how to unlock our radiance as women. And the topic today is women's mental health. Let me share my slide. Women's mental health, healing the feminine mind and body. Women's mental health, healing the feminine mind and body. By the end of our talk, or my short presentation, I'm hoping that we'll be able to understand what women's mental health is about, the factors that affect or influence women's mental health, and then we'll be looking at how to heal the wounds or the different areas where a woman's health has been bruised, and we will be able to unlock our radiance in the process. So let's look at what women's mental health means. This refers to the psychological, emotional, and social well-being of a woman. Women's mental health refers to the psychological, emotional, and social well-being of a woman. The mental well-being of a woman is dependent on certain factors. There are certain things that happen that lead to a woman's mental health decline or helps a woman stay healthy. And what are those things? There are two major factors. The first one is the biological factor. So in the course of a woman's life, from when she starts her menstrual cycle up until she ages, she goes through hormonal fluctuations. From the menstrual cycle, there are hormonal fluctuations that affect the mental health. We have the premenstrual syndrome, where just before your menstrual cycle, you feel moody, you feel sad, the person just sometimes has cognitive impairment. That is all happening because of hormonal fluctuations. It happens as well when you have the menopause can affect her mood, affect her mental health, affect her cognition. Then you also have generally the perinatal stage, which covers the prenatal, during pregnancy, and the postnatal. In all of this period, biologically, a lot of stuff is going on internally that can affect a woman's mental health. So it's important to understand this period so that you understand what is happening to you at that point. The next factor is the sociocultural factor. The sociocultural factor it's talking about the things that happen in our society that affect our women, the things that happen culturally that affect our women's mental health. You take violence, for example. There are some communities, some societies where there's so much violence targeted at women. They are hurt all the time, they are abused, they are raped, all kinds of things happen to women. This can impact on women's mental health. The fear of going out, the fear of thinking if I'm the next person can cause that. Then you have trauma. A girl child has specific traumas that are unique to her that might not be prevalent with the male child. Trauma growing up as a child, trauma in your adulthood, some form of trauma or the other can affect a woman. Even when it comes to trauma, we have what we call internalized misogyny. So you're not dealing with trauma caused by the opposite gender. We're looking at trauma caused by women on women. It's a real deal. I remember the last conference we had, Women in Rotary conference. One of our speakers spoke very well about it, how women just don't like women sometimes. And instead of helping ourselves go forward, we stand in we create a clog and we stand in our own way. You find a woman in a setting who sees another woman and she would rather help a man than help a woman. This is internalized misogyny and it affects women's mental health because sometimes you go to a place and you see a woman, a fellow woman's heart begins to beat like, oh God, I wish I met a man. These are things we should begin to talk about when we realize that when we don't support our fellow women, we complain about misogyny from men, but what about the ones that we do to ourselves? We should help ourselves because this can affect our mental health as women. Societal pressures. You have certain norms, certain things that are unspoken but affects the female gender. Now, when you talk about some families, some communities, they don't place priorities on the girl child going to school. So they focus more on the boy going to school. And if at all the girl goes to school, if there's any financial problem, they just say, oh, you girls stay at home while the boy carries on. This can affect the girl. If she has big dreams, she wants to go to school, she wants to be something great. And the environment, the society dictates that you put priority on the male child. So these are kinds of things. And then societal pressures on when a woman should do this or that. At this age, you're expected to have done this. At this age, you're expected to have produced this. These are the things that can put pressure on the mental health of a woman. Now we move on to specific conditions that are prevalent in women. These conditions are, you can still find them in the opposite gender, but they are more common with women. And they are also called internalized conditions. Men display externalizing conditions, while women display internalizing conditions. And these are things like depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder. Because of time, I won't break them. I won't break them in individually and explain their symptoms. I'm just going to collectively give you the general signs and symptoms of this. So you have mood fluctuations. Your mood is up today, you're happy, and the next moment you're down. You don't know what happened. Nobody said or did anything, but you're just moody. Your mood just shifts. That's a sign that something is happening in the mental space. Overactive nervous system. You find it difficult to relax. You're always active. Even when you want to calm down, you can't calm down. You've gone to work, you've worked, now you're just trying to relax over the weekend. Your body is still up. At night, you want to rest, your body is still up. Overactive nervous system, overstimulated nervous system, that is a sign that the mental health space is not healthy. Irritability and easy arousal. This refers to being easily aggravated, easily agitated, easily angered, easily just erratic. A little thing triggers you, and even sometimes you ask yourself, why am I triggered? This is not such a big deal. Why is this affecting me? Why did I react this way? That is a sign as well. That means internally there isn't rest. You're not in a very restful state. And then we have sleep disorders. This refers to different kinds of sleep disorders. It could be insomnia. Insomnia is a lack of, is an inability to fall asleep or sustain sleep. You also have hypersomnia, where you are constantly asleep. Even when you sleep properly at night, you still find yourself sleepy in the daytime. It's a symptom of any one of these three or all of them. Then you have physical illnesses. You find yourself in the hospital complaining of one condition or the other. You take drugs, it doesn't seem to go, or if one goes, another thing comes out. A lot of times, physical health problems have their roots in psychological factors. So now we're moving forward to healing the feminine mind and body. Now that we see the symptoms, we see what happens to a woman, we see the factors that cause our mental health decline as women. We've looked at it biologically, we've looked at it socio-culturally, we've looked at some of those symptoms that when we feel them, we know, okay, something is happening. Now, how do we heal? How do we become whole? Healing and staying whole involves a mind-body approach. So the mind-body connection, we are understanding every day in healthcare that the mind and the body are so connected that you can't separate one from the other, particularly when you're talking about health. You can't treat the body without the mind. We have seen it. I'm not going to talk too much about the mind-body connection. I'll just explain. I'll give you one very good example or one explanation that helps you understand how your mental space affects your physical health. That makes you go to the hospital. People begin to complain of high blood pressure, arthritis, cardiovascular problems, diabetes, cancers, digestive problems, all of these things I'm listing. So let's say you have stress. Someone experiences a stressful event. It could be emotional, it could be at work, it could be at home, a relationship problem, a marital issue, it could be something. Immediately the body senses a threat or a stressor. The brain sends signal for the release of hormones, some chemicals in the body that are called stress hormones. You have cortisol, you have adrenaline, you have noradrenaline. Now, these hormones or chemicals find their way into blood vessels, and they are responsible for lots of illnesses that we find today. First, the psychological ones that are depression and anxiety, they are responsible for that. Then we move to the physical ones. They cause inflammation in the body, and prolonged inflammation, when inflammation isn't going down, actually leads to diseases and illnesses, leads to heart problems, leads to hypertension, leads to all other arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, all these things that you think, just give me drugs, and you don't seem to find a solution. It is traceable to stress. These same hormones, cortisol is responsible for that. So when cortisol is released prolonged in the body, it begins to cause inflammation. Cortisol depletes your white blood cells, and we know that the white blood cells play a vital role in the immune system function. And what does the immune system do? It helps us fight sicknesses and diseases. Cortisol is there depleting the white blood cells, and then immune system can't fight sicknesses or diseases. The next thing we find ourselves down, it starts with, oh, I have malaria, I'm always having malaria, I'm always treating malaria, then typhoid. Then you go, they say it's this, and you go, you say it's that. It all is traceable to the mind. That is where we talk about the mind-body connection. It says mental health state determines your physical health condition. Now that I've briefly explained that, we're going to look at healing praxis for mind-body wellness. What are the practices? What are the things we can do that help to keep us well, that help to promote mind-body wellness? The first one I put here is regular mental health examination. So we are very good with going to the hospital to do a physical health. You hear people say, oh, every year I go and take a physical examination, I do a checkup, I check with my body, check my this, that, my heart, but we don't remember that it is equally important, if not more important, to check your mental space, your mental health space. Know your mental health status, because I just gave a brief explanation of how the mind can actually cause sicknesses in the body, chronic sicknesses in the body. So it is important that we go for mental health check, mental health examination. You can get that in therapy if you meet the right counselor, the right therapist, and we have a guideline with which we ask questions starting from your childhood. We look at the adverse childhood experiences, things that you faced growing up as a child. We call it ACE, adverse childhood experiences, to your adulthood. We look at current stresses in your life, how you are managing the present stresses. We look at how you're coping with any challenge in your life. That tells us the state of your mental health. So we move to gender-based approaches, like women in Rotary. Thankfully, our chairperson is also a co-clinician. So she understands the importance of things like this. She understands the importance of mind-body wellness. That's why she keeps talking about topics like this for our information. So when we have gender-based approaches, like what we're doing in the Women in Rotary, we called our agenda to discuss certain issues that are peculiar to women. And hopefully as the men listen to, they would know and understand. Because I have many people ask me who are men, I want to know how to love my wife, my sister, my girlfriend, but women are complicated. How do we help them? So by listening to this, they are able to understand what bothers us, what factors influence women's mental health. And gender-based approaches like this help us as well, because we discuss issues that are gender-related. Supportive environments, joining supportive environments like the Women in Rotary, like the Rotary, social clubs, professional clubs. Let me just, I need to be sure that my Wi-Fi. I hope we're still listening.
Yes, we are.
Okay, thank you. So supportive environments, I've said that, joining clubs, social clubs, professional clubs, now we've discovered that loneliness actually causes, thank you, Toyin. We've understood that loneliness actually causes more illnesses and diseases than even things like smoking. As dangerous as smoking is and other things you do, loneliness, isolation affects the brain and the body in more ways than these things I mentioned. So don't be isolated. Fine, and the world has never been isolated as it is now. We have phones, we have gadgets, we have things that make us connected, but we still feel disconnected because human beings were made to interact physically mostly. There's a kind of energy we pass to each other when we meet socially and when we meet in the physical. But because we don't go out anymore, we don't know our neighbors anymore, we don't relate anymore, everyone just stares at a screen, our mental health is paying the price for it. So find somewhere to find a support base, find a group that has your interest, that supports your interest, and participate, it will boost mind-body wellness. Then we move to lifestyle modification. This is a very important one. A lot of people are suffering, a lot of women are suffering, and because we have hormones going on, like I explained in the beginning, the biological factor, hormones run through us from when we start puberty till when we probably age and we're ready to go. So it means that we're going to be affected a lot by this lifestyle we live. The kinds of food we eat affect our hormones. The way we eat it, nutrition is big for women. A lot of us don't have some nutrients, but we don't know it. So we feel depressed, we feel anxious, we feel irritability, inability to relax, but we don't know where it's coming from. It could just be, for example, just vitamin B12 deficiency, vitamin D deficiency. These two can make you have depression and anxiety. So you probably think something is happening, but it's your nutrition. You're not taking in the right nutrients. So we need to select foods that contain nutrients, healthy foods, goes along with diet, what you eat, how you eat it, less carbohydrates, less sugars, more protein, more fiber, fruits and vegetables. They support the mood, they support brain function, and they support physiological well-being. Exercise. Now, a lot of us are living a sedentary lifestyle. You drive to work, you sit at your desk, and then you drive again back home. This affects the body and the mind in more ways than you can know. It increases cortisol in the body. There's no way to burn it out. So we encourage exercise. Exercise is not just to lose weight. It actually helps cognitive functioning. It helps the physiological well-being. It helps to maintain your immune system. It does so much. It regulates blood sugar, especially walking. In fact, walking is one of the very good ones. You don't have to do intense exercise. Just walking at a little bit of a speed, walking brisk, we call it brisk walking for like 50 minutes to an hour, 5 times a week can take care of a lot of health concerns. It will take care of depression. It will regulate blood sugar for diabetics. It actually helps to reverse type 2 diabetes. It helps with the joints. It helps with weight loss, like we said. It helps with mood. It helps to reduce body aches. It takes care of generalized aches and pains in the body. It helps with sleep. You sleep better at night when you exercise. These are just a few things that it does. Another one is sunlight. Sunlight doesn't just help us with vitamin D. Sunlight helps us to sleep well at night. Sunlight supports the immune system. I want to give a personal example with sunlight. So I have a son that is schooling in a university in a country that doesn't get a lot of sun. So I used to converse with him, check on him, how he's doing at school. And then I realized there was a period where he wasn't sounding like himself anymore. When I talked to him on the phone, have you gone to classes? No, I don't just know. I don't feel this is an intelligent person, happy to study his course. He started sounding like something was happening. He didn't want to go to school. I'll go to classes. I missed today's one. I'll go tomorrow. Have you gone out for? I just don't feel like. Did you go? I figured out that something must have been happening, and it was winter. So I told him what to do. I told him to start going out every day. Yes, the sun might not be hot, but little sun is better than no sun. So I told him to go out at a particular time of the day and take a walk in the sun. Then I changed his diet. I recommended certain foods to eat in that period. I told him to hydrate. I told him certain things to do, but predominantly, most importantly, to go out and get sun when it's at its peak, no matter how little. So I told him I was going to observe him for 2 weeks, and if he didn't get better, we can escalate to the hospital. It didn't take a week. When I called my son, in fact, the voice told me he was back. He was in school, he was back from classes, he was happy, he was himself again. Did he take medication? No. But if I didn't know about, and we call it seasonal affective disorder, which is also called seasonal depression, it happens when a person doesn't get sunlight. We are blessed in Africa, but we don't know. We complain about the sun. But we can take good use of the sun in the morning and in the evening. And sometimes, I'm just giving you an example of how lack of any of these things, nutrition, diet, exercise, or sunlight, can make you feel so sick that you go to the hospital. Imagine he went to the hospital and was given antidepressants, and he didn't need antidepressants. He just needed sunlight, change in nutrition, change in diet, and exercise. So due to time, I'll move to the next one. I just want to add a few things here. To hydrate and drink water, take a lot of water. Your body is more than half, 50% water. our blood is more than 50% water. So you can imagine the importance of water when we go all day without water. So just a slight 1 to 2% drop in water can affect the body in more ways than you can expect. You think it's just 1 or 2%, but it can dehydrate and affect the body because the body uses water a lot for lots of things. So I'll move on for time. I'll move to avoid stressors. I've explained stress and how it can lead to sicknesses. So I think it's only normal to understand that you have to avoid stressors. And I put people, place, things. These are the 3 factors that we come in contact with stress through. People that cause you stress, avoid them. And we can't avoid everybody. They say you can choose your friends, you can't choose your family, you can't choose your co-workers. So some people can't be avoided. What do? You find ways to cope that wouldn't impact on your mental health. You find ways of communicating. And then for families, you could go for therapy. You could just find ways. And then you set boundaries too to protect your mental space. Remember this whole thing about mirror effect. The mirror effect is the fact that a person begins to copy and behave in the way that they have, you copy behaviors and emotions that you've been exposed to over time. Energies rub off. So if you stay around people that have a certain energy, it wouldn't take long, you will pick it. So you need to be careful because we have mirror neurons in the brain that copy the things that we see, the things that we feel, and we can pick up those vibes. That's why sometimes you stay with someone who is a type of way, and then you feel drained when you leave there. It is the mirror neurons. So we have to be careful. Places we go to, there are certain places you go to when you come back, you're like, I'm not myself. I don't like going to this place. And you go there, limit yourself. And then things we do, there are certain things we do after doing them, you feel bad, you feel drained, you feel mentally down. Regulate that and then you avoid that. I believe if we put these keys together and we begin to practice as much as we can, it can't be done in one day, but we start one step at a time, we will get our healing back and we will unlock our feminine radiance. Thank you all for listening.
Wow, can we all give a round of applause for Rotarian Dr. Grace Esiye for that beautiful presentation. I know many of you are ready and are rearing up to actually ask questions. There's going to be time for that. I hope our next speaker is ready for us. Dr. Femi Oloyede, I hope he's ready for us. All right. Thank you so much again, Rotarian Dr. Grace.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you. Yes. All right. We're going to move on to our next guest speaker this evening. And of course, he's going to be taking us on a journey, a session that has to do with mind-body connection. And of course, this is going to be done by a man who is passionate about women. He is a he for she. Let's just call him the man of the moment for this program. And his name is Rotarian Dr. Femi Oloyede, the consultant, fetal medicine and genetics, Olabisi Onabanjo University Teaching Hospital. Please, can we give a round of applause for Rotarian Dr. Femi Oloyede as he prepares to take his presentation. But of course, before he comes and he begins, we need to discover who this wonderful personality is. Rotarian Dr. Femi Oloyede, his current positions is the lead consultant, Federal Maternal Medicine Unit, Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, Olabisi Onabanjo University Teaching Hospital, Shagamu, Ogun State, Nigeria. Director of Training's Post-Fellowship Diploma Training in Fetal Maternal Medicine, OOUTH. Rotary experience. Past President, Rotary Club of Ewotuntu. Past Assistant Governor, Chairman, Cleft Lip Palate Committee, Chairman, Disease Prevention and Treatment for our district, Chairman, Ogun State Membership Committee, Chairman, Lagos State, Little Steps, Big Help Project, Conference Coordinator for the first International Conference of Membership Committee. Please, a round of applause for Rotarian Dr. Olufemi Oloyede. His professional training, Fetal Medicine Foundation, Harris Bertright Center for Fetal Medicine Research, London, United Kingdom. Cyrus Zinelli Molecular Genetics Center, Iran. University of Lagos, Nigeria. Jesuit Center for Minimally Invasive Surgery, Spain. Naked Children Hospital, France. A round of applause for him. Professional affiliations. President, Fetal Medicine Group of Nigeria. Member Association of Fetal Maternal Medicine Specialists of Nigeria. Member Society of Obstetrics and Gynecology of Nigeria. Member Fetal Medicine Foundation, London. His personal life is married with 2 lovely children. He's an enthusiastic church organist, and of course, well-traveled across Africa, Asia, Europe, and America. His core competence: he is a pioneer fetal surgeon in Nigeria specializing in invasive fetal procedures. Now let us give a round of applause as we welcome Rotarian Dr. Femi Oloyede to this program this evening as it takes us on this beautiful journey on mind, body, connection. Women in Rotary, are we ready? Please, a virtual round of applause in the comment section. A resounding one as we invite a man who is passionate about women. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate your presence here this evening, and we also appreciate the Disease and Prevention and Treatment Committee of District 9111 for collaborating with Women in Rotary District 9111. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much, my dear Rotarian sister and the coordinator for this session. Can you hear me very well?
I can hear you, sir.
Okay, fine. No echo. Any echo? Hello?
Communicating, just that it's echoing.
Okay, let me pull it off completely. Okay, is it better this way?
Yes, it's better.
Okay, fine. I will try to be as loud as possible because I'm using a smaller system. Well, let me first appreciate the leadership of Women in Rotary for inviting me to, and especially the disease prevention and treatment, to always collaborate. Like I've said, over the years, we are partners, we are semi-twins, and that has been blessed, that has been sanctioned from heaven, and I guess it will remain like that for many decades to come. Right. On behalf of this president, therefore, I bring good tidings, greetings to all of us on this platform. I also want to appreciate the leadership of Women in Rotary for deeming it fit that I should talk to us on this subject matter. And lastly, to quickly acknowledge the wonderful talk from Grace there for what she did in the last couple of minutes. Honestly, it is so wonderful that I feel that I should go to my last slide and say, well, Grace has given the talk for both of us, which she actually has done. But nevertheless, because I cannot take my pay, because I'm going to be paid for this, I cannot take my pay without saying something, and that's why I'm going to say something very briefly. Well, I've been invited to talk about feminine wellness through mind and body connection. That is what I coined my discussion. But I do realize that when this conversation started, we were looking at discussing something in the membership month of August in Rotary. Before we changed a little bit. And therefore decided that, look, Grace is coming on board. Somebody I know very well, that we do a very good job to feminine health and all the rest, that I should also add something that probably be a little bit different from what Grace would likely discuss. And I'm glad that I did, because what Grace have said is a good number of them are on my slides or something close to it. I will, however, go on to present some other few things that I think you might benefit from. So on that note, I welcome all of us to this presentation and hope I can take just 10, 15 minutes to just go through. I'm going to start this talk by giving what I consider a little education on women in Rotary, being the Ember Month or the membership month. Next slide, please. Before 1987, in the history of Rotary, women have attempted to be members of Rotary all over the world, but that has been completely difficult for so many reasons. Rotary was completely a male-dominated organization. They see women as just guests, wives of Rotarians, they call them Rotary and all the rest. But the history changed, or trajectory changed completely in 1987, when for the first time, one of the lawsuits that have been put up to challenge this kind of attitude received the nod from the Supreme Court in United States of America, and precisely 1987, on the 4th of May, the Supreme Court in California, in a case between the Board of Rotaries, the Board of Directors of Rotary International, and the Rotary Club of Rotary, who took the RI to the court. At the end of that case, in 1987, the Supreme Court ruled that Rotary clubs may not exclude women from membership on the basis of gender. And that was watershed time. And so the history of men in Rotary actually started effectively as Rotarians in 1987. If you look back, they are talking of 97, 2007, 2017, we are talking about 36, 37 years or thereabouts that women came into Rotary as a recognized form of membership. And since then, the history of Rotary has not remained the same. That same year, 87, the Rotary International also issued a statement that all Rotary clubs in the United States only can admit qualified women into membership. So it means, therefore, that just like Rotary started in the United States, women Rotarian or female Rotarian also started in the United States following that landmark judgment in 1987. So what we take home, therefore, for us as men in Rotary is to say our journey of recognition in Rotary started on the 4th of May, 1987. And the woman that actually championed that most forcefully, next slide, is a woman called Sylvia Whitlock, who became the first female Rotarian and the club president at charter of that club, Rotary Club of Doughty in California. And so history was made with Sylvia as the first female Rotarian from RC, California. And there is actually a leadership award that is tied to her name that is given to each year to honor Rotary members who has worked actively to advance the cause of women in Rotary up till today. And I think we should begin to look in that direction. If we have any women in Rotary, anyone in Rotary in our district or in Nigeria that's working actively to advance this cause, then she should be able to benefit from this leadership award, which is called Sylvia Whitlock Leadership Award. That was the same year. It was not until 1988, just a year after, so a few months after, that Canada again began to admit females into Rotary Club. Of course, they also have to go through the route of the law, of the courts. And the court in Canada also gave a ruling that just like happened in the United States a year earlier, that Rotary clubs in Canada should also begin to admit women into Rotary clubs. And then 2 years after the first judgment, the Ira Constitution was amended at that sitting of Council of Legislation. And for the first time, it became a law in our Constitution that females are members of Rotary Club worldwide, having been confirmed by the Supreme Court in the United States and Canada following suit that allow for Rotarian women. And so effectively, therefore, the Journey of Men in Rotary, which we are celebrating today, actually started in 87 like I said, about 7 years ago. And at about, that's within 3 years, it was as if Rotarian, female Rotarians were waiting seriously for this to happen. We had about 20,000 Rotarian, female Rotarians in Rotary within a space of 3 years. That tells you how eager women embraced Rotary. Following that, it has not, the story has continued to be one of excitement. Next slide, please. And if we had the first female, if we go back a little bit, 87 Sylvia, even in 1990, we had about 20,000 Rotarians worldwide in 1990. By the time we are getting to 1995, which is just 5 years, we've had 8 female district governors in Rotary in different parts of the world. That tells that the growth of women in Rotary is actually phenomenal. It's actually much faster than, hello? It's actually much more faster. Can you hear me?
We can hear you, sir. We can hear you loud and clear.
My light just went off very quickly and I'm trying to refix it. Just a minute. Okay, fine. That means within a space of less than 8 years, thereabouts, women have produced 8 district governors. That tells you the rapidity of the growth of men in Rotary is an exponential kind of growth. Thereafter, we started having Rotarian females in international positions. Board of directors, we have the first female as Catherine. Our picture is there in the next slide. We have Anne Matthew as the first woman vice president Rotary International in 2013. And between that time and 2020, or 2010 rather, number of females in Rotarian moved to 200,000, which was approximately 16% of Rotarians. For a sector that joined Rotary less than 15 years, that had 16% of its membership being females, that speaks volume. And the growth of women has never looked back. In 2020, we have about 277,000, which is about 23% of women in Rotary. However, the highs was broken sometime in 2022, when for the first time, a female became the first female president in Rotary. And that is the person of Jennifer Jones. And this was followed closely, almost immediately, within a space of 2 years, by another female RI president in the person of Stephanie Ochik. And that tells you how powerful women can be anywhere in any sphere. A group that joined less than 35 years for an organization that has had its existence for about 100 years plus, and suddenly rising through the ranks and becoming RI presidents in quick successions. I give women in Rotary a hand of applause. But the story didn't end there. Let's look at our own environment. We've had a fair share of women activity in Rotary too, such that in 2022, the first female district governor in our environment emerged in the person of Omotunde Lawson. And again, in quick succession, another female emerged as the second female district governor in 2023, that is Ife Ijeze. Again, that tells you that the world has been yearning, waiting for women to come on board, the center of our district. And when they came on board, we actually began to celebrate them. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Hello? 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 Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Okay, she has moved to the next slide.
Oh, very good, very good. Closer. Yeah. And then after that, we can begin to coast home gradually. That even in our new district, 911, we are having the first female district governor in the next 10 months in the person of Bukola Bakari. That tells you that females are actually pioneering the district. And in 2024, we shall be, just last year, we had the first best performing president of Bukola Alamu from Ebutoton. Also, another female or woman in Rotary. There are several others too. Next slide, please. There are several others too. Next, please. Next slide, please. Hello, can you hear me? Hello?
We can hear you, sir. We can hear you.
The slide is still stagnant. Maybe that's on my screen. Can you move to the next slide, please? Okay, good. The next slide actually shows Bukola Bakari and Bukola Alamu, who are both women that are doing very well in Rotary, especially in the District 911. They are both pioneers. Pioneer District Governor, pioneer best performing female in Rotary. Next, please. And we still have others that we can still refer to. We have in the district people like Light Ojuroye, who happens to be the first female club president in 910. And we have others like Tuna Taiwo, who was actually the first female chief of staff in 910, if my record is right. Of course, right on this platform, we have my sister, there Sylvia Abdallah, who happens to be the first female chief of staff in 911. That's another record being broken by women in Rotary. Next slide, please. And finally, we have another record-breaking woman here, Lara Kesoya, for all that she has been doing. All this tells us that women have been doing fantastically well, marvelously well in Rotary, and we can begin to refer to them. What's probably left now is to see how we can project these women able to win international awards, such as the Sylvia Award, like I mentioned earlier on, or others in the district. But it is actually correct to say women in Rotary have actually come to stay. They are wonderful, they are fantastic, and they are doing excellently well. Next slide, please. For a woman to do that kind of phenomenal things or growth, there must be what we call wellness. And this has been appropriately discussed by my predecessor, Grace there. But let me start by reminding us that there is a little bit of difference between health and wellness. While health simply describes what it is, complete physical, mental, social well-being, and not just that you don't have a disease or a infirmity. That definition acknowledges the fact that there must be a connection between physical, mental, and social. In the case of wellness, we are saying for you to attain this good health or health status, you must actively pursue it. So wellness, therefore, is like taking an active process, making choices, taking actions to make sure that you attain health, both physical, mental, and social. But if you look at the topic, there is therefore a connection between the body and the soul for there to be what we call a state of wellness. Let's quickly remind ourselves that there is a concept called the body, the spirit, and the soul. The body, as we all understand, is just this physical part that we see. The part that you can hit, the part that pains us, the part that envelopes the soul. It is therefore material. But within the body, you have the spirit. Spirit is so abstract that it deals with things like faith, trust, worship. It deals with our connection with our maker, God. So therefore immaterial. But the one that we are concerned about is also the soul, which is the mental health in another balance now, right? Or the body, the soul or the mental health. Some people call it the mind, the will, the emotions. And that is captured on that picture that shows that the body is the overall that envelopes everything, but that is also a soul, which is the mental health or the mind, and that has a connection with the physical body. And the next slide is just trying to describe what the soul is concerned with. Things like guilt, worries, doubt, fears, and all the rest. Those are things to conceptualize in the soul. The body deals with things like pains, diseases, disorders, and all the rest, because they affect the physical body. why the spirit is not really under our control. Spirit really is under our control, but the soul and the bodies are actually under our control. And as women, just like she said, these two concepts, the body and the soul, are closely related. So that what affects one affects the other, or is influence or has influence on the other. And she gave a good example. You are depressed. The fact that you are depressed could manifest in a body disorders or symptoms such as hypertension. So we therefore know that the body understands what is coming from the soul every now and then. And what is coming from the soul also influences how the body reacts, which most of the time goes through some of these hormones that he has mentioned about, or sometimes the nerve systems. So, for example, physical sensations, whether positive or negative, could affect our mental state. Let's look at some study findings. Number one, it's established that women are more prone to body-mind imbalance because of hormonal changes. These changes, like mentioned earlier, on pregnancies, menstrual pattern, daily stress, and all the rest. Women are much more emotional, have much more emotional tendencies and breakdowns. Women tend to cry. Women tend to love. We have been told that most of women's emotional health are domiciled inwardly, men outwardly. Men can react outwardly, outward manifestation, but women actually inwardly. And that people with mental health have a greater risk of physical illness. We have established that. Here are some of the examples of imbalance between mind and the body, which she has expressed, which she has discussed with eloquently. So that's like just telling us.
Dr. Oloyede, wow,
Yes.
this has been a mind-blowing session with you, but I think we just have maybe like 1 minute or so to wrap up your session.
Good, thank you so much.
Thank
And some of the ways to reduce those kind of interaction, the imbalance between mind and the body, she mentioned very well. Healthy eating habits, adequate hydration, sleeping, but most importantly, number 6, which is to limit the screen time that we have. It's something we have not paid attention to, that I think we must take home. Learn to limit screening time, because that actually affects our mind and affects our bodies. Let's indulge in positive social recreational activities, like I've mentioned, and cultivate love relationships. Enjoy healthy, hearty laughter and practice gratitude, she mentioned. In summary, therefore, for us to maintain a very healthy body, mind health, and well-being, we should learn, like she said, stay active with active exercises, nourish the bodies, prioritize rest and stress management, connect with others in clubs and all the rest. And lastly, don't hesitate to seek professional help where necessary. Once again, I want to thank you for bringing me in, and I wish you a wonderful evening. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much, Rotarian Dr. Femi Oloyede. Thank you very much for that beautiful session. It was an eye-opener, quite interesting. And at this point, I believe all of us should just give a virtual round of applause to our 2 speakers. It's been a wonderful one. But we need to recognize some very wonderful personalities who have joined us this lovely evening. And of course, I have been told that the pride of Rotary of Africa, Rotary International President-elect Rotarian Yinka Babalola, is joined us online. Please let us give him a round of applause. And of course, I would like to recognize our IPDG Rotarian Dr. Wale Kukoyi too as well. And also Rotarian and Reverend Mrs. Olushola Kukoyi as well. Please let us give them a round of applause for joining us this lovely evening. Okay, at this point, we would like to call on an Amazon right here in District 9111. We would like to call on PAG Tonya Taiwo, who would like to share some, insights on this topic today. Please, let's give her a round of applause as she comes. Okay, when she's ready to address us, we will await that. But right now, the floor is actually open for questions. Please, time is certainly not on our side, so we need to make this as brief as possible. So please, if you have questions for the speakers, please can you raise up your hands? Or you can even drop your questions in the comment section. Thank you very much. So there are no questions. Okay. The chairperson of Women in Rotary for District 9111, Rotary and Lara Akinsonya. Please, can you address us? Please, can the participants need to be unmuted. The participants need to be unmuted, please.
How excited, but I know you are not as excited as I am.
Okay, I believe now we can now ask questions. The chairperson of Women, the chairperson of Women in Rotary, Rotary Lara Akinsonya. Would you like to address us now? We're also expecting a word from PAG Tony Ataiwa as well. There are women leaders in District 9111. Please, I hope we can now participate. Still muted. Oh. Please, we appreciate if the Secretary of Women in Rotary, Rotary and Jessica, can look into this. The Secretary. Okay, with the fact that we're muted at this point, I don't know, hopefully maybe the guest speakers are not muted. Probably you can drop your questions in the comment section and they can react to it so that we don't waste time. Okay. Our IPDG, Rotarian Dr. Wale Kukoyi, has raised up his hand. Please, sir. Can you? Oh, all right. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear, sir.
Oh, that's fine. Good evening, everyone. Let me start by congratulating the organizer of this program, that is Women in Rotary, led by Chairman, past President Lara. I want to thank you for bringing on this very important activity. And of course, the anchor person, Rotarian Sally, done so well. I've not been able to speak because I was in the reception for the Rotary International President-elect, which is happening right now at the district office. But I've joined this lecture for almost 1 hour now, and I want to say that the quality of the presentations have been excellent. First of all, by Dr. Grace, who spoke on the psychological part of the lectures, and of course, our veteran Dr. Oluyede. I really want to thank them for the wonderful lectures that they've delivered, and I'm sure everyone that has listened has gained a lot from it. I also want to commend the number of people who have been online, and also the number of questions in the chat box, which shows that it's really been very interactive. So I just want to say that this is a program that has benefited a lot of people, and I want to thank Women in Rotary once again for this brilliant idea. I'm sure in the next few weeks or months, we'll still expect more action and more activities from the women in Rotary. So congratulations, Chairman, who is holding this post for the second year, and that attests to the fact that she's doing very well. So I want to congratulate every member of a Women in Rotary and look forward to more initiatives by this group. Thank you very much for the opportunity to say a few words. And once again, thank you to our resource persons who have done so excellently well in their various vocations. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much, IPDG. We appreciate your presence here today. Okay, the chairperson of Women in Rotary, Rotarian Lara Akisoya, I believe you'd like to react to this. You raise up your hand, please. Can you unmute yourself? We would also like to recognize other Rotarians that have joined us. Rotarian Torera Kazim from Rotary Club of Ota, past president of Rotary Club of Ota, as well as Rotarian. Okay, I think the award-winning president, or should I say the award-winning IPP of Rotary Club of Ewotuntu, Rotarian Bukola Lamu. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, recognizing you amongst many others who have joined us. Thank you so much. Rotarian Beatrice, thank you so much for joining us. Rotarian Bankole Victoria, thank you so much for joining us as well. Wow, this has been a wonderful, wonderful program. I know that a lot of you would have loved to ask questions, but this is all we can take so far. And on behalf of the chairperson of Women in Rotary, Rotarian Lara Akinsoya for Rotary District 9111, we want to say a big thank you to everyone, to all the members of Women in Rotary, to the committee members, to even the organizers of this webinar, and as well to all Rotarians that joined, to all Rotary leaders, and of course to non-Rotarians that are part of this beautiful seminar on unlocking your radiance. I hope you have unlocked your radiance, because I certainly have unlocked my radiance. So at this point, we say thank you once more. Please, what will happen is that, as you can see, there's a number on the flyer. Please, if you have questions, if you want contact of the speakers, please, I would encourage each and every one of you to reach out to the chairperson of Women in Rotary, Rotarian Lara Akisoya. You can direct your questions personally to our lovely guest speakers, Rotarian Dr. Femi Oloyede, and as well as Rotarian Dr. Grace Ese. Thank you so much. It's been a beautiful day with you. I wish you all a lovely weekend and look forward to another webinar coming up very soon. You get the notice. All right, so this is where we wrap up this webinar this evening. Have a lovely weekend, and we love you all. Thank you so much. Bye.